last couple of days, we've been tracking the latest controversy around the inauguration of the new sansad. Remember, it's slated to take place on the 28th, but several in the opposition have come out with repeated questions on why is the Prime Minister inaugurating the same and not the President. Now, the inauguration of the Parliament building will also see Prime Minister Narendra Modi install a historic golden scepter near the Speaker's seat. This confirmation came in earlier today from Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who said that this scepter was handed over to the country's first Prime Minister Jawahar Lal Nehru to mark the transfer of power from the British to Indians. He also spoke of how the scepter was called Sengol, a Tamil word meaning full of wealth. The history and significance of the Sengol, he said, was not known to many. Its installation in the new parliament was an attempt to link our cultural traditions with our modernity. The plan is to install the Sengol in new parliament. It also reflects the far-sightedness of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he said. The Sengol is now at a museum in Allahabad, from where it will be brought to its new address, the Parliament. Hear it from Union Home Minister Amit Shah.
इसको तमिल में सेंगोल कहा जाता है और इस शब्द का अर्थ संपदा से संपन्न और ऐतिहासिक है। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव में प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो कुछ लक्ष्य तय किए थे, उसमें एक लक्ष्य हमारी ऐतिहासिक परंपराओं का सम्मान और उसका पुनर्जागरण भी था। ये सेंगोल उसी लक्ष्य की परिपूर्ति के लिए आज मैं आपके सामने इसकी इंफॉर्मेशन को लेकर आया हूं। ये घटना जुड़ी है आजादी की क्षण के साथ। 14 अगस्त 1947 की रात को एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण ऐतिहासिक और अनोखी घटना ने आकार लिया था, जिसकी 75 साल के बाद आज देश के अधिकांश नागरिकों को जानकारी नहीं है। ये सेंगोल जो अभी आपने स्क्रीन पर देखा था, उसने हमारे इतिहास में एक अहम भूमिका निभाई है और ये सेंगोल अंग्रेजों से भारतीयों के साथ सत्ता के हस्तांतरण का एक प्रतीक बना था। इस घटना के ऐतिहासिक महत्व को जानने के बाद आप सभी को आश्चर्य होगा कि इतने सालों तक ये हमारे सामने क्यों नहीं आई। जब इसकी जानकारी प्रधानमंत्री जी को मिली, इस पर गहराई से विचार करने के बाद प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इसकी गहन जांच के आदेश दिए और फिर निर्णय लिया कि गौरवमयी प्रसंग को ध्रुव तारे के समान, परंपराओं के ध्रुव तारे के समान देश के सामने रखना चाहिए।
We have a first controversial reaction coming from the National Conference, though, as Union Home Minister Amit Shah went on to detail why this exercise was being undertaken. The National Conference has infused a communal spin in the development. They've gone on to allege that the BJP is communalizing even the inauguration of the Parliament of the nation.
इसमें ये संगोल लगाने से इसको कम्युनलाइज किया जा रहा है और मुझे लगता है कि आने वाले वक्त में इसके अच्छे नताइज नहीं होंगे। हमारा मुल्क जो है वो आइनी तौर पे सेकुलर है और सेकुलर आइन को रखते हुए हमको किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन को कम्युनलाइज नहीं करना चाहिए और ये गलत है।
Well, we have Pradeep, Mohit Bhatt and also Pranesh joining us live to put the story overall in perspective. Before we play out that reaction once again and taking a word from Pradeep, Pranesh, you know, the Home Minister himself said that this has a grand historical significance considering it was used during the ritualistic transfer of power from the British to the then appointed Prime Minister of India. He's spoken of the actual significance of the word, of what it symbolizes, but yet you have, on expected lines, leaders from the National Conference come out to say an attempt is being made to communalize now.
We'll get to the communal bit in just a bit, but because you started by saying that let's put this in right context, I would very humbly, Kritzwin, like to put out a few thoughts for our viewers. The opening of the new Sansad Bhavan is something which is, not a daily event. This is the new the parliament that we have. This has a lifespan of about 125 years. the previous one, the current building, was designed to meet requirements for 100 years and it is well past that. The question is, all those political parties who are today boycotting, and I'm not saying that, boycott is undemocratic. This is a legitimate means, a Gandhian way, as many people would like to call it, to register your protest. But here's what I think. After the new parliament building is inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi come this Sunday, will the parties that are boycotting it refuse to send their members of parliament inside? Are we going to have a situation that after election, when new MPs come and take oath, will those MPs also refuse to take oath in the new parliament? What kind of precedent are we trying to set here? And if these parties have decided that not just inauguration, even after the building is inaugurated, our MPs would not sit there, but would sit at India Gate, are we going to have that kind of a situation? So I think, and that parties must rise above this politics. And going by what the Parliamentary Affairs Minister has said, he's appealing to all political parties to keep politics aside for the sake of this historic event.
Because it takes us back to the very simple question on whether or not this parliament building has been constructed for the leaders of the BJP alone. No, right? So why is this kind of politics and an unfortunate sense of politics that is being witnessed across the country? When we talk about this controversy, has been going on for days altogether. Before I take it across to Pradeep, another reaction coming in from the PDP as well, once again politicizing the construction of the new parliament building and the subsequent inauguration that is slated for the 28th. PDP also calls the inauguration of the parliament a move by the BJP to impose a Hindutva agenda. Listen in.
जो संसद है, जो पार्लियामेंट है, वो लोकतंत्र का मंदिर है और जिस तरह का जो एजेंडा, मैं तो कहना चाहता हूं कि जिस तरह का जो हिडन एजेंडा, हिंदुत्व का एजेंडा जो सरकार जो पहले भी चलाती आ रही है, आज पार्लियामेंट हाउस के अंदर आप जिस लोगों जो बना के पेश करने जा रहे हो, तो मुझे बताइए कि ये सेकुलरिज्म जिसकी बुनियाद पे जो देश खड़ा है, आप उसी पे चोट करने जा रहे हो। और इस तरह की ये जो काम करके मुझे बताइए, ये देश की, मैं समझता हूँ कि सेकुलरिज्म को चोट है, सेकुलरिज्म को कमजोर करने की ताकत है। ऐसी बातें उसे ग्रेज करना नहीं चाहिए। और अगर किसी को है अपना, तो ठीक है, अपने घर पे रखें, अपनी पार्टी के दफ्तरों में चलाएं जो कोई चलाना चाहता है। लेकिन जहां तक देश की बात है कि देश सबका है, देश मेरा भी है, देश आपका भी है, देश सबका है, तो ऐसी बातों से मैं समझता हूं कि ये एक कोई पॉलिटिकल लाहा लेना चाहते हैं।
Pradeep, it's very interesting. Up until now, we had several in the opposition come out and ask why this parliament building is being constructed. Why is there a need for a new parliament building? Then they had questions about the national emblem atop the parliament building. Thereafter had questions about the Prime Minister inaugurating the building. And look at the kind of discourse that these politicians are now resorting to. The example that they're setting, like Pranesh pointed out, very, very unfortunate. They're talking about BJP's Hindutva agenda and all of this, and an attempt to communalize on part of the Saffron Party.
That's really unfortunate. Why this is happening? When you have no issues to discuss, you always look for non-issues. That's what exactly is happening. They said that we will not be going to the parliament, we'll be sitting at India Gate. What kind of democracy you are talking about when you want to have anarchy in the region? Because tomorrow, what people are expecting, you will be insulting the mandate of the people. When people are expecting that you will be going inside the parliament, raising their issue. So far as the Sengol issue is concerned, once again, see, they're trying to look at the things so that Sengol, the meaning of Sengol means righteousness. That means they have to do justice. So righteousness is only Hindutva, and how it is not secular in nature? Because they already, Amit Shah, Home Minister, has given historical significance, because that point of time, how Lord Mountbatten had given the Sengol to then Prime Minister Jawahar Lal Nehru, because it was about the transfer of power. And he asked this question to Rajagopalachari, what needs to be done, how the transfer of power is to be signified. So that was actually, the Sengol was handed over to him. Why for 75 years it had not been there, why it was lying in Allahabad, that's a matter of investigation. But if somebody is trying to install that symbol of righteousness there in Parliament, I don't think that anybody should have problem. How come you say that this is trying to communalize atmosphere? Because you are trying to do justice. When you call it a temple of democracy means you are not having blinkers on your eyes. You are looking at each and every person with equality.
Are we going to then politicize India's growth story in every possible manner we can? That's the question being asked. We've opened our call-in lines as well. Our viewers are calling us this evening. We have Vinod Goel dialing us first up. Mr. Goel, a very good afternoon. Thanks for calling Times Now. You know, the controversy in the latest is about several parties like the PDP and the NC that have come out to see a communal agenda behind this whole idea that the central government is going to go ahead with the golden scepter that they're going to be placing inside the new parliament building, which by the way indicates righteousness, symbolizes power and justice. Mr. Goel.
Yes, see, I'm calling from Canada, and I watch your program every day. It is so strange that opposition parties, just for nothing, they have to criticize Modi. They have to criticize everything done by the central government. It's a parliament for the next 100 years, 125 years. It's a beautiful building, and there will be an increase in MPs too in the incoming future. And that's why, looking at that, it has been made. And that's what it is, that once it is done, when the new session begins, will they not sit in the parliament? They will sit somewhere else. So I will request the opposition to come and watch, and it's a history in the making. So that's what I would say.